What's up everyone, River here, and I am here with the Week 5 team builder of the PTL. This week I'll be facing against Mono Tui, the coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays. Mono Tui came in as a replacement coach, so he didn't drop his own team, but he opted to not make a single change to his roster, so it is a team that I've been familiar with, so to say. I've seen it since the start. And he's been having some bad luck. He had some bad luck in his first game, so he's currently at 2-2, just like me. So now it's up to me to put him at a negative record. For that, we've got ourselves the following matchup to work with. With his team on the right consisting of Lando I, Clefable, Slowbro, Mega Venusaur, Heatran, Zed-Lycanroc Dusk, Rotom, Base Form, Alolan Persian, Salamence with that move, and Hitmonchan. This is a really rough team to break. He has so many good defensive Pokemon between Unaware Clef, Slowbro with a Generator, Mega Venusaur with only 2 weaknesses, Heatran, and even to an extent Alolan Persian due to fur coats. Meanwhile, he still has amazing offensive capabilities, mainly fearing the Salamence, the Lycanroc Dusk, and the Landorus Eye for obvious reasons, because it is sheer force, just to clarify, it is sheer force Lando Eye, which is quite scary. But I've got myself a team with which I feel I have somewhat of a decent chance, and I'm gonna roll with it. So first Pokemon, as you've already been seeing, is the Nihilego. Nihilego can break his entire team bar Heatran. So if we look at the moveset I'm opting to bring, first off Sludge Wave, simply a stab, it hits a lot of Pokemon, it hits Clefable really hard, it hits Slowbro pretty hard, it hits Hitmonchan, Alolan Persian, most Pokemon to be honest. Psychic is there so I can more easily deal with the Mega Venusaur specifically. It also helps me deal with Rotom, for it resists poison, but if it was just for Rotom I would have ran with the Power Gem. Obviously I'm gonna bring HP Ice because he has 2 quad weaknesses in Salamence and Incarnate, Landorus Incarnate, Lando-I. And both of those could take a stab hit, but both of them will go down to HP Ice and are naturally slower than Nihilego. Lastly, there is Acid Spray, simply to punish any switching. Again, bar Heatran, if I get Nihilego in on, let's say, Clefable, or even Rotom, when he switches out, and the Pokemon that switches in takes the Acid Spray, they are in range, no matter what percent they were on. A -2 Pokemon cannot live a hit from Nihilego, with the exception being an Assault Vest Slowbro. But if he brings Slowbro, I'm expecting a physically defensive variant, very standard set at least, so that's not something I'm fearing. And even if that's the case, I can tell from the Acid Spray damage, and we'll be able to take precautions. So, as I was just nagging on about Heatran being the one thing that will stop this, we're bringing Trapinch again. Trapinch, a little bit of an oddball set, but this is actually brilliant for the matchup. Earthquake, very straightforward. By far Trapinch's strongest move. It is the move that will take down Heatran unless it's Chocoberry. And yeah, if I need to do damage, that is my move of choice. Then we got Rest Toxic, simply to stall out, for example, Unaware Clef. It could stall out Mega Venusaur if it doesn't bring Grass Stab, which is not as unlikely as it sounds. And it might be able to stall out Rotom too. And lastly is Strugglebug. Strugglebug is a surprisingly useful tech in this matchup, simply because it will prevent, for example, Clef from setting up on me. Because every time he clicks Calm Mind, I click Strugglebug and it will stay at neutral special attack. It will help me deal with Venusaur once again. If Venusaur is on -1, it cannot 4-hit KO me if it doesn't have Grass Stab. Because when it comes down to Venusaur, I'm expecting a physically defensive set with Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power Fire for Katana, Earthquake for the likes of Nihilego, and Synthesis or Leech Seed. He's gonna have some form of recovery because he can't have leftovers and it's Venusaur. You need to be able to sustain your tank. With the Eviolite and the max special defense set that we have here, Trapinch can live 2 Magma Storms from Heatran. I already mentioned the Calcs for Venusaur. I think Clefable gets 4-hit KO after 1 Strugglebug. And even Slowbro after 1 Strugglebug cannot 2-hit KO Trapinch. So those are a lot of notable calcs that can be taken into consideration. Pretty much, if I can get Trapinch in for free on a special attacker, or if Slowbro switches in on Trapinch, Struggle Bug, or Toxic, then Trapinch can win against that specific Pokemon, especially due to Ranger. Like I said, Slowbro switching in. That's very unlikely. Unless I for some reason bring in Trapinch on Landoi or Rotom, and they willingly switch into Slowbro. But those are just some oddball thoughts here that probably won't matter. Next up, we've got ourselves Tapu Fini. It's once again a very simple set, but it's because Fini is one of my few dedicated defensive Pokemon. It will almost always be brought defensively, and I'm gonna need the defense in this matchup. Simply because Z Salamence and Z Lycanroc are both rather dangerous to my team. I have other Pokemon that can potentially deal with it, with those two specifically, but Tapu Fini is there as a pivot. It's there to drop Mid-Nature's Madness on, for example, Incineroar. It can do a lot of things, and it's simply there to just be the glue to the team, just to be a reliable Pokemon to just do its job, and Fini will do its job because it's just made for it. It's just very bulky. It will be able to take hits. It will be able to deal damage with Nature's Madness to an extent with his dual stab. And Protect is there mainly to scout out the Z move from either Lycanroc or Salamence. Pardon me. Because if I protect, let's say, a +1 Z Fly or a Splint Storm Shards from Lycanroc, after that, the Pokemon that Z move I protected cannot kill me with another single hit, which will allow me to drop either a Moonblast or Salamence or Surf on the Lycanroc, and it would put the hurt on them. But that is just Fini. Let's just go straight to Hawlucha for this one, because it is once again a Misty Seed set. There is very little to talk about. It's very simple. It's Swords Dance, dual stab, and Throat Chop, specifically for the Rotom. If Rotom shows up, I would be expecting a defensive Colberry set with Will-O-Wisp. Sorry, I'm recording this relatively early. I'm expecting Will-O-Wisp Colberry, but even then, I still need to Throat Chop the 2-hit KO because of the Drain Punch immunity and Acrobatics resist. My alternative option would be a Stone Edge, I think. Then I would risk the chance to miss. Poison Jab would also be resisted. Rock Slide, again, chance to miss and probably isn't enough. Like, I could go for the flinches if I feel like it. And the Headbutt again for flinches. Like, overall, I think Throat Chop will be my safest play, because if it's not the Colberry variant, it'll just get chopped down at +2. So, back to the proper order of business. We've got ourselves Zygarde 50%. Zygarde is a bit more interesting of a set here when it comes down to the spread, simply because I needed to do several things at the same time, all related to the same Pokemon, and that is Salamence. See, this is the exact matchup why Zygarde plus Fini works amazingly. Simply put, the way how Misty Terrain works is that not just the status thing, I'm talking about the secondary effect, the other secondary effect, is that grounded Pokemon will take half damage from Dragon type moves. Meaning that Zygarde will take half damage from Dragon Claw / Outrage, but Salamence will still take the full damage from Zygarde's Outrage. Meaning that Zygarde can always KO Salamence. That is what the attack investment is for. The attack investment is, if it is a max HP Salamence, then it will still get OHKO'd 98% of the time by Outrage. Because at this point, I am uncertain what type of Salamence he's going to bring. Either he's going to bring a Dragon Dance 3 attacks Salamence with just max speed, max attack, or he's bringing a bulky DD set with dual stab, Z-Fly is what I'm assuming, could be Earthquake instead, and Roost. So this is a way to cover myself against both sets. The speed is here that a -1 speed Salamence will underspeed my Zygarde. This sounds like a very weird thing to take into consideration, but I'll come to that later, as the physical defense is for me to optimally tank hits from Salamence. With this spread, I can tank Z-Fly +1 Z-Fly, no, it's regular Z-Fly into Dragon Claw in Misty Terrain, or 2 +1 Dragon Claws in Misty Terrain, including a crit. So this is my all-around way to deal with Salamence, and in case that's not necessary, I still have the option to go for Sub-Dragon Dance, because Sub-Dragon Dance does really well once Clef is gone and Slowbro is significantly weakened. I'm still considering maybe switching the leftovers out for for Dragon Z's Crystal, simply so I'm not locked in on the Salamence, and I can deal with, and I don't get automatically revenged by the likes of Slowbro or, I don't know. Dang, okay, this is not professional. Or HP Ice Lander's Eye. I'll get over to what I'm expecting him to bring in just a moment after showing off the last Pokemon. As I mentioned earlier, I have calced for -1 speed Salamence. That is because I have Icy Wind on my Golisopod. It's a very standard set outside of that, with dual step priority and then the Icy Wind with max tech and pretty much max HP. The speed is there to creep a Slowbro creeping me, which already isn't likely, but it's just for the security, just for safety measure. The thing about Golisopod in this matchup is that he doesn't have really good switch-ins to him. The one switch-in being the Salamence. Salamence might think this is setup fodder. That's where the Icy Wind comes in. I think that if he brings Salamence, this should be considered a free switch-in. And with that in mind, Icy Wind is almost a guaranteed click when I get Golisopod in. Leech Life and Liquidation simply to put out the hurt once Salamence is gone, or I just simply want to break something. Aqua Jet is there just as a last-ditch effort, obviously, mainly for the Landorus, because Landorus does not take hits from Golisopod well. If I one way or the other manage to get Golisopod to a range where it won't get KO'd and won't have its ability activated again due to whatever Landorus wants to do, that's when I could go Liquidation and try to just knock it out. With that said, the team that I'm anticipating would be the Salamence, obviously, either one of the two sets I mentioned earlier. I'm expecting a Landorus Eye, obviously with Life Orb because sheer force, and then with Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Hidden Power Ice, and either Rock Polish or Rock Slide for the Golisopods. I'm expecting an Unaware Clef or Slowbro, physically defensive. I'm expecting Mega Venusaur to come physically defensive with the earlier mentioned Grassless moveset. Well, unless you count this as a grass move, but it doesn't do damage, so I don't count that. Then I'm expecting either Heatran or Lycanroc as the Rock setter. Again, I'm not certain if it's going to be offensive, defensive. I'm not sure what their item's going to be, because I could see Lycanroc with Z move too, but I think Z Salamence is too good in this matchup to not bring. As for the final Pokemon, it could be the one of Clef Slowbro that's not showing up in my mind, because I'm thinking only one of the two shows up. It could be Rotom, yeah, just base Rotom. And I could see Persian show up. I think Persian, Hitmonchan are the least likely Pokemon to show up here, but they are possibilities. With that in mind, this was my team builder for week 5. I hope to see you guys tomorrow at the battle, and I hope you enjoyed.